Everybody, we are back. It is Tape Don't Lie. It is your favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. We are back, guys. It is time for the preview episode, right? We got the Giants coming up. A lot of crazy stuff happened this week, but we finally get to some football. And hopefully the Raiders come out with a win this weekend. But first things first, guys. Subscribe. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button, right? If you like it, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. We like all engagements. Same with the comments. If you like it, leave a comment. If you don't like it, leave a comment, right? And then, if you're checking this out on iTunes, hit the download button on Silver and Black Pride Podcast, download on Spotify. You guys already know what to do there. And then make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL. And at BD Williams 18. And of course, we are brought to you by manscaped.com. Make sure you use discount code TDL. Like I said, guys, it gets closer to Christmas every day. Get that Christmas shopping done early, right? And like I said, for the ladies that are listening too, make sure you get that for your man, right? All right. This week we got the New York Giants. Raiders are going on the road to a place that has had some bad memories for the Raiders recently, MetLife, but the team's wearing blue this time. They're not wearing green and white, or even green, or just pure green. It's blue. We're going to play the Giants this week, and it's going to be an interesting matchup. The Giants are 2-6, but I think their defense is good. I'm not going to say great. I would say they do some great things, but as a whole, they're good.
Right.
They have a good defense, but I'm sure BD is gonna differ with the offense.
Yeah, it's it was actually pretty funny watching some of these clips. Like I didn't put together. I should have put together like a little blooper reel because it was like a Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song or something like that. These guys are like passes hitting them in the face mask, just running into the back of their blockers, like loose balls on the ground. They're kicking it, trying to pick it up. Just every game, just so many mistakes and mental errors. It looks like JV football sometimes on offense.
Yeah.
But talent wise, they got some dangerous receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Dimes, like, is he a barnstormer? Nothing like that, but he belongs in the NFL. He can be dangerous if you sleep on him, so you can't sleep on him.
Yep.
And he has a little bit of a unique skill set. Like Ryan Tannehill with not as strong of an arm, like, athletic, he can run. He can really run. Like, he's not going to, like, juke you or anything like that. But, like, once he gets up to speed, it's like, okay, he's, like, gaining. Yeah, he's got those long arms. So it's a dangerous team a little bit, but they just make so many mistakes.
Yeah.
Like they haven't ever really been, like they haven't been in a lot of these games because of it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not like scared of this offense, but I will show, some reasons why, the Raiders should take them serious.
Yeah, for sure.
And everything like that. So why don't I just jump into it?
Let's get into it, bro.
All right. So we're going to talk about, first, let's talk about their run game. This is a team that I don't think that's their identity, running the ball. And, offensive linemen just on the ground, guys getting beat. It's just not where they hang their hat. They're not a good run team. Okay, you see the center, the guard, each miss a block there. And it's a pretty big theme. Everyone across the entire, offensive line is liable to miss a block, blow a block in the run game. I've seen a lot of it. Now we got Devontae Booker, okay, and you see this hole that he's got right here. Okay, so they can make a hole, but even when they do that, look at Booker just running right into the back of his lineman. I mean, I have no idea what he's looking at right there. Very interesting. And then obviously, like, look at this. There's no one's blocking for him. He's having career low yards per carry, Devontae Booker. But also, Danny Dimes is what they call him in New York. Out here on the East Coast, they call him Danny Dimes because that's how much he's worth. That's a funny joke I saw. But he's part of the run game too. He can build the speed downfield, so you got to take care of that. And now pass pro. Pass pro is something that I think has struggled early on. I think it's getting slightly better each week. Danny Dimes is a guy who he wants to make a play, so he's going to take some sacks. He's not going to get rid of the ball when you need him to get rid of the ball. He's liable to make some mistakes when it comes to taking care of the football when the pass rush is coming, come bearing down on him. But when you do have him where he needs to flush out of the pocket, he's a guy who you can't sleep on him just because of the complexion of his skin. He can run, all right? He's in the NFL for a reason. Okay, now their drop back pass game, this is something that's really interesting. I would say the majority of their concepts, rely on timing in the intermediate area and Daniel Jones getting the ball out before the wide receiver gets his head around. A lot of timing, anticipation goes into this offense in the passing game. And you see when Danny Dimes has to get rid of that ball early, you see, it doesn't quite work. The anticipation, the timing doesn't quite work. You see the receiver trip here, throws an interception. A lot of the timing has, it's a big part of this offense. Now, they're going to take shots. They take plenty of shots downfield and, barely hit on any of them. Especially outside the numbers. We see a little short motion, switch release, got the slot fade. They just have a hard time completing these, and this is a good example right here. He's back here. It's Yankee. Throw this way downfield here. Let him run underneath it, but he throws it so short and flat, gives that corner just an easy chance to just undercut that. That's a terrible ball right there on the Yankee concept. That being said, top of the screen, John Ross developing a little bit of a relationship, a little bit, some chemistry with Daniel Dimes, something that Raiders fans are going to have to, keep an eye out for. John Ross blowing the top over the defense. This is a great example. Just him kind of buying time, waiting for that shake route to get open, throwing it up because he sees Daniel Sorensen out there. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna toss that one up there. And then the other thing that we got to worry about, though, is a guy named Kadarius Toney. KT is nasty. As a football fan, watching this guy play, it's short stuff, and he's gonna make people miss. He's a tough guy to tackle and bring down in space. Kadarius Toney, you see him he's running very short routes, gets the ball in his hands though. Makes people miss. He's a human joystick, really. And he has some ball skills. You see him with the slot fade, being able to make an adjustment, catch the ball over the top of the defender right here. Look at this inside release. Got a little, just routes up. What is this guy? Who's this, Diggs? What's his first name?
Trayvon,
that's right. One of the best corners in football right now this year, and he's routing them up. And then you see him get a little reverse throw the football. So there's going to have some trickeration with this guy, Kadarius Toney. He's playing like a dangerous option right now. I think he's healthy. I think he's going to play in the game from what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley's out. Booker, it doesn't really matter because the offensive line is not very good when it comes to, creating
blocking.
Just run blocking. So honestly, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like Saquon Barkley was going for 150 a game or something like that, who cares? So it doesn't really matter. The run game is of no consequence. It's just going to come down to making these guys make mistakes because they do that a lot. This offense makes mistakes. So just playing mistake free, they're going to make a mistake, take advantage of that mistake when they do make it. And I think the defense is going to be in a great position. Obviously we've seen the Raiders go to the West Coast or to the East Coast, play the 1:00 start against teams that on paper were inferior to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Right. And we see them just not be able to take care of business. Right.
Exactly.
On the East Coast, whether that's Atlanta, whether that's New York, whether that's Washington football team, playing these guys on the East Coast has been tough for the Raiders. So I think that and getting past this Ruggs saga, right? That's going to be what this defense or what the team has to do here. The Giants aren't very good. You know, obviously they haven't won a lot, so the test here is how the Raiders on both sides of the ball are going to be able to handle the 1:00 start on the East Coast, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I do want to ask you before I start talking about it. how many times did you see sticks as the first play call of the game?
As the first play call of the game,
Yeah.
I saw that maybe like a couple times, but I wasn't necessarily noticing that one. They do a lot of similar things. Like I saw a lot of similar formations and motions from one game to the next.
Yeah.
It's not.
When I studied Daniel Jones this summer, all 5 games. So I watched 5 games when I recorded back this summer. And when I watched his 5 games, every time his first pass of the game, it was sticks. It was literally every single time. I'm like, oh my God, bro, you can't do that. And then of course, by like week 12, it didn't work anymore. Like,
right.
I wonder what they're playing on.
Yeah. Right.
It sticks. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You probably watched 3 games. You said you saw it a couple times.
Yeah. I don't know what it, and when you see so many players make these like weird, like mental mistakes, like whether it's running into the back of their defender or of their blockers, or just like face, the balls bouncing off their face mask, and just like all these like silly little things. That comes down to it. At the end of the day, it comes down to the coaching staff. Like, these guys have all played football before. They all know how to play football. They're not getting prepared with enough detail.
Yeah.
Right. So that is going to fall on the coaching staff. And I also think that, we know who Garrett is, and he's never going to, out scheme you. He's not going to come up with something crazy that you've never seen before. He's a pretty vanilla coordinator. Not seeing a bunch of like crazy things on tape in terms of like stuff that, we don't see that in the NFL very often. But I know the defense, you are going to show some stuff that's a little bit more cutting edge. So I'm excited to jump into that. I think the scheme for the Giants defense is definitely something that a lot of people have been studying recently. Yeah.
I will say, you made a lot of good points about Jason Garrett. I mean, he's just vanilla as all. It's really nothing crazy. You're not gonna see anything like wild. He's running the same stuff he ran with the Cowboys. Nothing. It's nothing special. Slant flats. Sticks, simple type of concepts they do. And I always feel bad for Daniel Jones, because he doesn't control who his OC is. This is the offense that he was built in. They got good players. If they had a better scheme, I think that they would actually have a better offense, in my opinion. But
they definitely have the talent level. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
100%. Like Kadarius Toney, he's nasty. Saquon Barkley, obviously, like physically one of the most gifted running backs in football.
Mm-hmm.
He has his fair share of vision issues. Sure.
Which you always had. You had that coming out.
Yeah, that coming out, and then he has no offensive line, so it's not like that's ever going to get better.
No.
And then some of these other guys, they're solid. Kenny Galladay has been really productive in his career as an outside guy. As a possession type of receiver. Who runs like a limited route tree. Kenny Galladay, what does he do? Comebacks, posts, fades. Yeah. It's all past 10 yards.
Yeah.
Right. Any of his routes, but he made a lot of production. He had a lot of production in Detroit. So he's proven that he can do those things. Obviously, going from Matt Stafford to Daniel Jones is a step down. That's who your quarterback is. But I think that they have plenty of talent. It's not a question of talent. It's a question of this team is not prepared to play when they play. Straight up.
That's the thing. Sterling Shepard's no joke either. I don't know if he's still playing, but I think they have talent over there. So that's why it's so interesting to me, and I feel bad for Jones because if they change coaches or something, or a new coordinator comes, you hope that he just has a chance with actually a good coordinator, because I don't think that he's that bad. I think he has some fumble issues. He has some turnover issues that he deals with. But I think reading the field and making he makes some terrible decisions sometimes, but sometimes he does read the field well and plays better than I think that the offense around him allows him to play. Let's just say that.
Yeah. For the record, Sterling Shepard is out on the injury report. John Ross, questionable on the injury report. Kadarius Toney, limited participant all week in practice, but his game status is full go.
Okay.
And Kenny Galladay, questionable. So their wide receiver group is banged up. Really, it's really banged up. And then Saquon Barkley's out too. So it's a huge injury report that they got in comparison to the Raiders for sure.
So let's go. As we transition over to the Giants defense, I think that makes a great point. That I feel like this game is on the offense.
Support for this episode of Tape Don't Lie is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. Join over 2 million men worldwide who have trusted Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code TDL at manscaped.com. That's TDL at manscaped.com.
The offense kind of is going to dictate this game because I don't think the Giants are going to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
So, but are the Raiders going to score a lot of points? That's kind of the thing. The Giants defense this year, are they like, are they monsters? Like, are they like, are they beatable? Yes. The only person that really dominated them is I call him Sean McVay. I call him the cover 7 killer at this point. Because I swear every time I watch a cover 17 and they play Sean McVay, he just tears them up. I don't know if I guess he's because he had Brandon Staley with him over there or something, but man, does he play with those rules. But, it's interesting to, look at like the points that they give up. The Dallas game, mostly the offense, they had a bunch of turnovers. The Rams game, they had 4 turnovers. They gave up 38, some of these games, the Chiefs, they played them well. They kept the Panthers to 3 points.
You can't look at the box score. The box score is going to be deceiving.
Yeah, the box score. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and even, when they beat the Saints, they kept the Saints 21 points. You know what I mean? So they are a good pass defense. I'll say that. I'll get into a little bit, but I think this game is on the offense. So let me just do this. Let's do it.
Go for it, bro.
All right. So let's go ahead and start off with the run defense, which, like I said, this is really their big weakness is stopping the run, which I feel like we say that every single week, guys, because you're seeing a trend like nobody in the NFL can stop the run right now. So, and either can the Giants. And, when the Chiefs got the power football, look at that block by Trey Smith. Good Lord. Got the power O right there, beating them up, right? Got some duo power football. Right, nice little duo, good run by Gore outside, easy touchdown. So all types of power runs. The Raiders run these plays too. Pin pull outside, good blocks, right? Open lanes. Chuba Hubbard gets 7 yards. Then you got the little mid zone which the Raiders run. You can see it here. Just get no push, no penetration from this team when it comes to stopping the run. Teams just run the ball all over them. Then you even got something else the Raiders run, inside zone slice. You see this, like there's literally no push from this defensive line. And, it allows linemen to get to the second level easy. There's a block in the back on this one, but still, you get the point here, right, guys? And it just keeps going. More runs outside right here. A little bit of run there on Gore, but they're run all over the Giants, guys. You just run all over them, and I expect the Raiders to get some good runs going this week, especially how they got the run game going and they're doing a lot of more power stuff. And this team with the pass rush, like I said, it's not really there, but there's a big dog in the middle who gets moved around a lot. And he's not just in the middle, and that's Leonard Williams, right? Leonard Williams came over to the Giants, had 11 sacks last year, and he's just as dominant as he was last season, right? You see him right there causing a safety, right? With the intentional grounding right there, with just power, just pure power and quickness. And that's what you see from Leonard Williams. And like I said, they move him around. Now he's outside, a defensive end. Oh, we got a tight end on him. That's not smart, right? So just powers right through that guy. Get some pressure, forces Sam Darnold to get rid of the ball, right? Get rid of the ball, force a check down, right? Short of the sticks, that's third down too, guys. That's third down, right? So, and then you see him inside again, right? Different alignment, boom, quickness. Can't leave him unblocked, right, guys? And you see Olajari, he comes and finishes over the top, right? Leonard Williams, just a monster. And he plays the run pretty well. I'm not saying this whole team does, but usually when you see a run stop, it's Leonard Williams. right? Not everybody else is getting that much push, but once you see that run stop, it's Leonard Williams, and you see him one more time inside. You even move him on some stunts as well. See him on the stunt, right? Push through quick, just move the guy to the side. It wasn't even like that much, technique there. He just get out of my way. It's time for a sack. And Olajari, he's no slouch either. Feature Olajari right there. See, quick move, quick counter right back inside, right? Made the guy overset. Nice move, right? So Olajari and Leonard Williams, those are the two main guys, but from a pass rush standpoint, it's not much there, to be honest. But James Bradbury's everywhere, guys. All right, I just want to tell you that he is everywhere, and everywhere, I mean, all over the field. You don't no idea where he's at. So watch him right here. He's got, looks like they're playing man, right? Oh, they're playing man. Oh, no. He's the hook linebacker in cover 3. Like, that's just crazy. Almost intercepted, right? So Patrick Mahomes is thinking it's man-to-man. No, it's not. And that's a lot of things. They are the masters of pre-snap deception. Patrick Graham does this all day. Like this one, it becomes almost like a 3 safety look. James Bradbury stops and, like I said, dig routes and things, those attack cover 7 defenses, a way to stop it, make the corner stop right in the middle, forces a coverage sack, right? I'm telling you, he's all over the place. And then they like to run inverted cover 2 a lot. So we're going to see a little inverted cover 2 look here too as well. Boom. And right? Pick that off. So James Bradbury's everywhere. If that's not inverted cover 2, BD, let me know, because I it looked like it, but it's just so many different coverages, right? And then he could play man-to-man corner. He's everywhere. Here's some man-to-man. Watch him just mirror this route by Robert Woods. Look at this. This is just textbook, him mirroring this route. Beautiful stuff, dude. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah, beautiful.
So James Bradbury is everywhere, man. He is such a good player, and he makes this whole secondary go. But there is different ways to attack this defense, right? And I think the best way to attack this defense is you got to take what they give you, okay? Because if you try to throw deep and you try to make plays by attacking this defense deep, you're gonna have a long day. So, right? So, like I said, these guys play a lot of cover 3 man match, so you're gonna see a lot of that in this game. A lot of people get confused with quarters. They usually start off with too high. Players drop. You see, then James Bradbury's taking his man. Everything's covered up, right? Linebacker takes the flat. Nothing there, right? But there is, like I said, there is different ways to attack this defense, right? A bootleg play action off the split zone. That's something the Raiders do, right? Got a quick 10 yards right there, right? Here's a drive concept. The Raiders run this one too. Got a drive concept with Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods. Robert Woods sits, nobody takes him, touchdown, right? And like I said, check downs are there all day. Also, the choice routes are there all day too. So we got a nice choice route right here from Tyler Higbee. You see Matthew Stafford. He looks at the spot concept at the top, comes back, easy, right? Easy peasy, first down. You see it here again on the choice route. This is choice shallow. This is something the Raiders run too. Sam Darnold is not good, so he just misses it. And I don't know why he doesn't throw this ball. I have no idea. And he just checks it down instead on 3rd down instead of getting a first down. So you don't want Derek Carr to do that. But then, like I said, check downs are there all day. They just left these open for the Chiefs. And they did this against the Rams too, guys. They just left check downs for Matthew Stafford and screens, and we know that, Greg Olsen is getting a lot better with the screens. Mm-hmm. So, that's how you get to attack this defense. You're not going to be, attacking these guys over the top or trying to do these deep concepts on these guys. In my opinion, it's gonna have to be, calculated. Kind of how they play the Eagles. In my opinion, I think they have to take that approach. Take what they give you. Don't try to. If Derek Carr, if you're confused, check that ball down, bro. Like that's kind of my opinion. Like if you see something, Carr, that you're a little confused about, I think you should play it safe and just get rid of that football and check it down, because he's gonna get confused. We saw Patrick Mahomes get confused. We saw Matthew Stafford get confused, and those are 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, right? And if they're getting confused, Derek Carr's gonna get confused. So there's confusion everywhere. You really have no idea what they're doing. Right. You have no idea what they're doing pre-snap. They're not going to show you. People were talking about they were playing too high against the Chiefs all game. Oh, no, well, I mean, they started off in too high a lot against the Chiefs, right? And charting usually if they start off in too high, people are going to chart it too high, right? But when it's those safeties move, man, and is it really too high? You know what I'm saying? It's kind of it's like what Brandon Staley's doing. I mean, Brandon Staley's getting all the credit for it. I think Patrick Graham does a little bit. I'm not gonna say better, but I mean, there's a little more deception to it.
Well,
him.
I mean, So first of all, Patrick Graham, great defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
love this guy. As far as like, I'm a fan of football. I'm a fan of like X's and O's. Right, Patrick Graham, really fun to watch. He doesn't have great like edge rush, right? So he has to manufacture a lot of things. I think that they definitely have got a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, and they've kind of just thrown the scraps to Patrick Graham, and Patrick Graham's like figuring out how to make like a really viable, like really tough defense to go up against, especially passing against. And to your point, you're not going to air this team out, but I do think that there's going to be some mismatches, when they are playing man coverage. If Darren Waller, Brian Edwards can win those matchups, there we go.
Sure.
Now we're cooking. But I mean, we'll see. I think that it's definitely a beatable defense. I think that it's like a cutting edge scheme, but only like Leonard Williams, great. James Bradbury, great. Everyone else, it's middling talent at best for everyone else across the defense.
Yeah, I think they got some good young players. I think Xavier McKinney, he showed some good stuff on tape. I mean, just what they ask him to do, he's not like a pick machine or something like that. But what they ask him to do, he does pretty well. I mean, Logan Ryan's he does. I mean, the secondary is good. I'm gonna say that. Like, I think like Adoree Jackson, he's good. I think they got a good secondary. It's just, I mean, they got no linebackers. I mean, the linebackers are nothing.
Linemen besides Leonard Williams,
Yeah, Dexter Lawrence has some moments as defensive lineman, but like I said, you can run all over them. They're just not, from a linebacker and an inside perspective, or even a slot defender perspective. Like I was showing, you could get a one-on-one with a tight end, on some choice routes and get some one-on-ones because, they kind of leave the middle of the field open. I mean, you know what I mean? Like they're trying to stop deep passes. I mean, they're trying to stop volume plays because a lot of NFL teams, they don't want to, be meticulous and go down the field. And I think that's what the Raiders have to do. Have some really good, 10-play drives, 11-play drives with some running the football, a lot of balance, not worry about average depth of target or nothing like that, and just go out there and play efficient football and beat these guys. And I think they can do that. I think the Eagles game, we saw that is part of the repertoire again, which I was very happy about. I know Carr, like his average depth of target was only 5.4, but I mean, look how good he played. You know what I mean? Like sometimes average depth of target is a little overrated at sometimes, it's something that we look at and, it isn't like equal winning. Let me just say that. I don't think your depth of target equals winning.
No.
You see some of the highest depths of target and those I mean, they're not winners. Right. So, you gotta have that balance with the way this team plays. You gotta throw some screens. You gotta take those check downs. They're gonna give them to you. So I mean, you gotta take them. And that's Patrick Mahomes refused. I mean, Stafford did a little bit early on. I'm sure Sammy Vay was like, "Hey, bro, like, yeah, you can't do that." Because Stafford was too. He was trying to force into some windows. Because you want to attack downfield, but you really can't. And once you realize that, you can move the football on these guys pretty well.
I think definitely like getting and sticking in the run game. Hopefully Josh Jacobs has a huge game because when you get into a third and short, second and manageable, that really cuts down what this defense is going to be able to throw at you.
Yeah.
If you're getting into like third and longs, now we're going to start seeing some exotic stuff in coverage that we've never seen before, and that clip where you were showing James Bradbury coming across in motion and they're playing zone, even though it looks like man, right? And he's playing like the inside linebacker spot in cover 3.
Yeah.
They did that last year, and James Bradbury got a pick doing that. So it's definitely a big thing. Like they do a great job disguising with the motion man. Someone runs with them to make the quarterback say, "Oh, it's man coverage." And then everyone plays zone on top of it. They do a great job of that right now. And doing that in cover 3, because usually teams do, if they do that, they play cover 2 when they do that.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, actually, the Raiders did it with Paul Gunther. Colts did it. They've been doing it the last few years. Cover 2 teams, but they're doing it slightly different, I would say, with the cover 3 change up. But yeah, it's a fun defense to watch. Definitely going to keep Raiders on their toes. And and I'll go back and say this: if this game was in Vegas and the Henry Ruggs thing wouldn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
right? This is a shoe-in. This is money, right?
Uh-huh.
But there's a big distraction,
Mm-hmm.
and Raiders got to go cross country. I just think we can't sleep on these guys. We got to see how the Raiders come out.
Yeah. They can't sleep. They have to be ready. I really hope they come prepared, man. I mean, I think this is a different team. I don't think this team is like reading headlines. I feel like the team last year did. I feel like there's a lot of headline reading. You know what I mean? Even at the Chiefs game, teams are telling the best team in the AFC, whatever. I'm sure John Gruden had that on the ESPN. Look, guys, see, we're the third best team in the AFC. So, and then you go out to Atlanta, 43-6. So I don't see that type of game happening,
No.
But I think they have to be ready to go with a good game plan and not try to force things against his team. You just like I said, man, he's got to be on the lookout for James Bradbury, bro. You just have to, he might do something that because the interesting thing with Graham is that he doesn't do too much crazy deception with anybody else. Dory Jackson never does anything crazy like that. So it's Bradbury, bro. You have to watch him. He just moves him around everywhere. You don't know what he's gonna do. And he's a weapon.
I don't understand why he's not more of a household name. I mean, last year he was top 5 corner in the NFL. So James Bradbury is legit. If you haven't heard of James Bradbury, if you're a Raiders fan, James Bradbury, fantastic corner. Yeah. Can do a lot of things with the great corner. So yeah.
He's probably. I mean, all the previews and things I've been watching on tape, I'm definitely probably trying to think of some other teams. Besides watching Diggs on tape, I feel like that dude's he's probably he's top 5 corner in the NFL, bro, hands down.
He's he's up there, and he also has the acumen, the football intelligence to be able to match and do these things that you're talking about. So
yeah, man, he's a chess piece, bro.
All right, so we'll see. The Raiders do have their hands full, but it's unfortunately with more stuff than just the game at hand. So we're gonna find out how they respond to all this. To hear our thoughts about Henry Ruggs and everything like that, go back to our mailbag episode. We talked about that at length. For probably the first 20-30 minutes of that episode, we talked about Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
So if you're curious on our thoughts about that, go find that.
Well, one thing, should we talk about Desean Jackson before we get out of here?
It sounds like he's in a good headspace for coming to the Raiders, and here's my thing. OBJ comes. It's not like there was a role that OBJ can just go play. No, now the offense has to kind of change and be okay, now we got a premier wide receiver, right? So on one hand, that makes it a little bit more challenging if the Raiders were to bring in OBJ, if he somehow clears waivers, if they have enough cap space, if no one else is in the market, which all these things are doubtful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you bring Desean Jackson in, now you don't have to change anything.
No.
And you just be hey, Desean Jackson, so these plays that we had for Henry Ruggs, now you're doing them, right?
Yeah, the big post, the choice route, you're going to run.
Right. That's it. So it's seamless with Desean Jackson. But obviously OBJ is a way better player. But
yeah, I know a lot of Raiders fans don't want to OBJ. So I would say with Desean Jackson, I would think that it's going to be interesting, because he did want more targets. And I don't know if he's gonna get more targets in this offense. I don't know if he's gonna get that many because he doesn't run a route tree. He could run the deep routes to Henry Ruggs, but Henry Ruggs did a lot more this year than just run deep, in my opinion. So there's a lot more to him than just kind of that he's just a deep guy. Let's just get Desean Jackson, put him in there, and it's a replacement. It's going to be interesting because, when Desean Jackson gets out there, what is he going to do? He's going deep. So people are going to be oh, okay. You know what I mean? It's kind of his issue right now because like he's in the game. Like you're gonna kind of be ready. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of his issue. But
it's valuable. It's valuable.
It
you
is.
have to hang a safety on top of him.
It is. It is valuable. You're right. You're right about that.
And so if that's a big element. Obviously, yes. Henry Ruggs was improving the route tree, right? Like we were seeing some things, and no way is Desean Jackson going to be winning 50-50 balls and coming down, cutting things off and high point and doing all that stuff like that, that we saw from Henry Ruggs. Yes. He's not the same player, but when we're talking about the element of speed and just taking the top off and what teams were having to do to worrying about Henry Ruggs. Now, if Desean Jackson's in the game, now they're having to also worry about those things, even though he's not going to run the full route tree, like you're saying. Like he has no route tree. He runs a post. That's all he does. He runs post.
He runs post. Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't even run fades. He doesn't win on the outside. All his catches are across the middle.
Just on post routes.
On post, that's it.
If you did the Desean Jackson highlights, just post routes.
Just posts. That's all he runs.
The Yankee concept, basically over and over again.
Right.
Just like the Eagles, the throw from Michael Vick. That's Yankee concept.
That's Yankee. Right. Yeah. That's him.
He's the Yankee post god, guys. Basically, what he is.
Right. So, but at the same time, he does that. Top 5 in the NFL doing that. Right.
Ever really that dude could track any ball in the air, bro. That's why I would be excited for him, because I know Derek Carr puts good trajectory on it, which everybody's been giving crap for. Like, why do you put so much air in there? Watch.
So Desean Jackson can can track it. Yeah, exactly.
He's like King Griffey, center fielder, bro. Right. Like tracking the ball in the air. It's like dead serious. Like if it's underthrown, he's gonna fake the guy out because he knows it's gonna be okay. I see it's dropped. I'm gonna keep running really fast and stop. He's that type of dude. Tracking the football. So, but with OBJ, it's interesting. You talk about changing the offense. I don't know if it would change the offense like target wise. Hell yeah, but I don't think it would change for like Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen would just say, okay, I'll just use him like I did Allen Robinson. So and 3x1s and him isolated all the time. That's what it'll be. They'll try to create matches where you can't double team him.
You don't bring OBJ in unless you're like planning, like your intention is to feature him, right?
I know. That's the thing.
So it has to be like, okay, now you got this whole package. Like, what do you like to run? Show me on the board what you like to run. We're gonna we do all this. Yeah, we're gonna get these for you. So there's a lot of hand holding there, and understandable because he's a great talent. But at the same time, I don't know if the opportunity arises for the Raiders. Yeah, great. Like OBJ, he's a special talent. But I'm just not convinced that he's going to clear waivers. The Raiders have enough cap space, which has been indicated that they don't have enough cap space. And if they can win out in free agency for his services, which if he does clear waivers, right? So I'm just not convinced, but we'll see.
I don't think he's going to come. I really don't see them taking Odell. It's probably is going to be Desean. I don't know if Deshaun's going to come here though. That's going to be. I don't know if he's going to feel like he's going to get the targets that he wants. You know what I mean? I think he wants to be featured, kind of like what they were trying to feature him in the Eagles before he had those injuries the last couple of years. That's what I think he wants, and that's why I don't know if he's really going to sign. Now that he probably talks about it, and it sounds great that he has mutual interest. He's like, hey, I want to go play there. Henry Ruggs is gone. Right. But, how much is he really going to be used since he's kind of just a one trick pony at this point? And that's kind of what my thought process. If he really does end up signing, does he have that feeling with him? But, the other part of Odell Beckham, the football issue, like, I showed you that video that Joe T. O'Sullivan talked about. And then, this one play for the Browns and Broncos in 2019 that I always talk about. I have no idea how Baker missed him. Now they're trying to say that he ran the wrong route on that one, which I still don't, I don't care, bro. He's wide open. Like you were looking right at him. But anyways, like he double clutched and then threw the jar. Like, bro, he might have read the wrong route. You double clutch, but Eli Manning's better throw it to him. So
Man's like, oh, he's open. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's just throw it to him, right?
That's not the route. Like, what, are you a robot, Baker Mayfield? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So he's gonna do what he wants, right? He's gonna kind of go out there and kind of just run the route that he thinks the route should be. And JT O'Sullivan compared him to Chad Johnson. And I thought that was a good comparison because JT was like, I had no idea where Chad Ochocinco is going to do. Oh, I was like, oh, that's great. You're open. So let me throw it to you. And you can't like really anticipate what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still think their car would fit.
It makes the anticipation tough. Right.
Yeah. You can't anticipate what he's going to do. But, I saw some video by Seth Galina that showed Odell Beckham kind of shoring up his routes a little bit, not being as much because he wants the ball. He's probably like, okay, let me get some more timing down so I can get the football. And I mean, so he might be changing on that aspect too. So it'll be interesting to see. It's probably why he's not getting as much separation as he used to, because he's not doing like all the crazy stuff he did at the Giants, where he just used to like,
Yeah.
And
Eli Manning's getting sacked.
But that's the crap I get on Hunter Renfrow for. People get mad at me. It's the same stuff that Odell Beckham used to do in New York.
You can't have two guys doing that. You can only have one guy. Once Odell Beckham comes, Hunter Renfrow, sorry, you got to run your route, bro.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be on time here.
All right, we're good. We're good after that.
All right, so that's it, Raider Nation. We appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Raiders film channel, Tape Don't Lie. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, make sure you hit the subscribe button or the download button, whatever that you have to click to make it download onto your device. Make sure you hit that if you're listening to us in the podcast format. If you're watching us on YouTube, we really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you can see anytime that we drop a new video on this channel. Also, make sure you hit up Manscaped. TDL promo code gets 20% off plus free shipping off of a ton of men's grooming products. I just got like the nose. They sent me the nose trimmer, right? And I really needed one. Okay. I can't even lie. I needed it. I had like the hairs, I was like, all right, what am I going to do about this? It was getting a little wild, so that nose trimmer worked out for me. So stuff like that, they got it on the Manscaped website. Hit it, look it up. It's, I would say quality stuff, and it's relatively well affordable. So, hit up Manscaped. Make sure you do that. Help support the channel. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you follow Marcus on Twitter at @MarkJohnNFL. Make sure you follow myself at BD Williams 18. That's it, Raider Nation. Be cool.
Peace out.